We're joined now live by Senator Joe Manchin. Senator, thank you so much for doing this with us. Of course, so I want to ask you, as we're leading into this Zelenskyy address to Congress, he has been really pushing and asking for more aid, for other things, those MiG fighter jets and a no-fly zone. You know that's what he's going to be asking for. Do you think he'll be able to move Congress and the White House on some of those things?
Well, Joe, I think what's going on right now, President Zelenskyy, what we're seeing every day, live and in person basically, is seeing the fight for freedom, the sacrifices people are willing to make for the freedom we take for granted. I would hope that we would do the same. And with that, that means giving him the support that we can for him to defend himself. But I have to give, the president has to have credit, and you should give credit to President Biden on what he's been able to do to unite all of NATO and all of our allies, bringing them together when they've been shredded for a long time. Now they're coming together. So it's not a decision we can make just by ourselves. So we're going to do this and shove this. We're doing everything we possibly can and giving them every defense mechanisms that they need and have. They're asking for this. This is a very visual type, but basically we can't do that unless NATO allies believe it's in their best interest too. They're on the front lines. Anything that might make them more vulnerable, or that Putin lashes out, or you trigger the Third World War, that's something that's very serious, and we're all in this together.
Yeah. And so just before we let you go, I want to kind of clarify there. Are you saying that if President Zelenskyy is asking for those MiG fighter jets or more aid, more sanctions, that Congress wouldn't move or the president wouldn't move unless we're on board with all of our NATO allies in Europe?
Right now, what we're doing, that bringing that alliance together, we need this. We need our alliance and need to be strong for us to be the leader of the world and be able to defend people such as Putin, this aggression that he's doing to these people, and just the horrific carnage that's going on. We have to be together on this. I'm saying take nothing off the table. I don't know how much more you can sit here and watch and stand by and watch what's happening to these poor people in Ukraine. But with that, we have to understand you've got Poland, you've got Hungary, you've got Latvia, you have all of the Balkans. They're on the front line, and they're all part of this. And we just can't put more countries in danger if they don't think that's in their best interest too. So it's something that has to be united.
Okay. And quickly, obviously, you're going to be in the room. Is there anything else that you want to hear from Zelenskyy?
Basically, I want to hear that what we've been able to provide to him so far and all the support we've given has been of tremendous value. He wouldn't be where he is today. He wouldn't be able to withstand what he's withstanding if it hadn't been for the aid the United States and the NATO allies have done and the coordination that's been done. It's unbelievable. Against long odds, who would have ever thought 3 weeks ago he'd be still standing? But he is. And I want to make sure that we understand, he understands that he's very appreciative, but he needs more help, and I hope he understands we're there for him.
I want to ask you something. I wake up every morning, and the first thing I think about is whether or not Kyiv is going to be taken over by Russian forces. They've been defending it. Sure. Do you think it is possible, is it conceivable that Ukraine can hold Russia off of Kyiv with American help?
Well, we like to think that that could be done, but we were prepared that might not be done too. But with that being done, if they could do that, it'd be tremendous. If they can't be done, where do we set up government that would still be the Ukrainian government? Who does Russia put in as a puppet government to run, like they did in Belarus? That's what we'd be watching to see what happened, but it's going to be very interesting how this unfolds. I don't know what the end game is. I really don't. It's not going to be pretty. This has been awful, what we're seeing. The refugees, the humane needs that people have. We're going to have to help in many ways, and there's going to be a rebuilding time too. So America's going to be called on for an awful lot. And that's what I was saying a year ago. Before we jump down and spend $3 or $4 trillion more, let's make sure we're prepared to take care of ourselves and help other people. And it's coming to fruition.
Okay. And just very quickly, anything you can say about Zelensky's leadership, what he has shown so far against incredible odds?
Unbelievable. It's just that the courage that he's been able to show, the leadership, the resolve, basically standing there and fighting and facing against long odds, the incomprehensible. I'm wanting to give my life for my country and my countrymen. He's shown that. He's not just saying it and then takes off and flees and hides somewhere. He's out there every day. Yeah.
And addressing you all from a war zone too is pretty incredible. Yeah. Senator Manchin.
Well, how about having he had 3 NATO allies countries in there yesterday.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.